What's up, Eagle family? This is Sara Hacker with Morehead State Athletics, and I'm here to bring you your athletics portion of your virtual HOCO at MSU. We're going to have conversations with various coaches, from cross country with Clay Dixon, volleyball with athletic director and head coach Jaime Gordon, soccer with Warren Lipka, your head football coach Rob Tenyer, the women's basketball head coach Greg Todd, and the head coach of the Morehead State men's basketball program, Preston Spradlin. We know this is not your normal homecoming. We definitely miss the sounds of the marching band, the cheerleaders, and the smells of the tailgate. But hopefully you'll be right back here next year for homecoming at dear old MSU. Enjoy these questions with our head coaches as we give you the athletics portion of your virtual HOCO at MSU. What have you enjoyed most about coaching the blue and gold?
What I like about our group and the years I've had here is the competition, the level of competitiveness the kids have bringing to this school. They want to compete, they want to fight. I told them the very first time they came here that you take pride in where you're at. This is Morehead State, you're always going to be an Eagle. Fight every time, be a competitor, and go out there and have fun.
You know, being here at Morehead State, this is my dream job. You know, this is here in the mountains of Eastern Kentucky where I'm from, so this is home for me. I have a lot of family here in Morehead and all the surrounding communities, so it's meant a lot to me. I love our fan base. I love the investment that our community has, that this is a basketball school in a basketball town, and it's a basketball state, and people really love it. And so that's been a big selling point for us with recruiting, is come to a place where people care about it. And we have great investment from our community, whether it's members coming to practice or stopping out at my home and wanting to know what our roster, our schedule looks like. And it's been a lot of fun to be here and coach at a place where people really love and support what you're doing.
I think it's a challenge. Obviously, we're one of the smaller communities that's in the Ohio Valley, and to take pride in a school that's been very good to me. I've had two daughters that have degrees, so it's now with going in my 7th year, we built some tradition, and we have a bigger alum base now for our team, and it's just become home for me, and just really enjoy being the women's coach here.
Just watching people grow. I mean, it's basically just recruiting them as a high schooler, a senior. I mean, some of them I've seen or have just been watching race since they were even younger, but just watching them grow as young adults and go on, graduate. And some of them, just keeping in contact and seeing how they do throughout life. It's just, yeah, I'm a young coach, but I mean, even my teammates, just watching them go on, it's really exciting to just see them succeed.
The relationships you build with your athletes, with your colleagues, with the community. It's about all of those experiences and just the enjoyable memories from day to day.
When you have former players stop back in and visit or call and text and, check on the program or become a donor to the program. And the best thing that really stands out to me, one of my favorite things, is when we line up to play on Saturday and we've got 30, 35 former players on the sideline. That means a lot. And of course, just the football and the teaching and developing these young men. I mean, that's why I do this. And those are the things that I enjoy most.
The past is the past, and COVID-19 has definitely made changes in our normal outlook of sports. But we know we'll be playing soon. What are some best positive approaches you have found to get your student athletes moving and looking forward?
We can only control what we can control. So that's what our main focus is keeping our head, doing the right things off the field, because if we don't do that, then you get punished. So just making sure everything is done right. This is only a phase. It's going to go away, but we have to deal with it. And you know, I'm a person that bring on adversity. We just got to fight through it. That's what life's about. And once we get through this phase, we'll get back to what we want to do.
You know, I think the big thing that we've stressed to our players for years, and it's become very impactful throughout all of this, is attitude. We've got it written everywhere. We break huddles and we say it. And what that means is just having a positive mentality. And so we talk about having a get-to mentality as opposed to a have-to mentality. And so the fact that we all went home in March and didn't get the opportunity to have a spring or have a summer that we normally would together as a team, guys had different access to the gym, things like that, it really made us be very grateful. And so we've got a grateful group of athletes and coaches right now, and we don't take any day for granted. You know, there's a lot of unexpected things that are going to happen. And so we focus on having a get-to mentality versus a have-to, and just telling our guys to control what you can control and be where your feet are. And we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and so let's focus on today and the opportunity that we have to get better and make sure that we don't waste it.
You know, I think it was a time, you know, there in the middle of the March where we all just sort of shut down, and unfortunately it was a different time for folks, and I really feel like we've all not taken things for granted as much when we were able to come back and to have our team back in July and have them on the floor. I feel like every day that they're given every ounce of energy that they have, and I do think part of it is due to the uncertainty, still a little bit of uncertainty of times with COVID.
Honestly, just one day at a time, and just like, you know, don't look at the big picture, just like focus on this week, or even break it down even more, just this workout, and then maybe even more just this rep. Just because it's scary when you sit there and think about, you know, 6 months in the future, but if you break it down, I think that really helps out.
You know, I think one of the things that's so great about our athletes right now is that they're not looking forward. Where they are is they're looking right now, and they're taking advantage of every single day. And so whether it's being in the gym practicing with their teammates or prepping for a match, I think they're really embracing every moment that they have together and involved with their sport.
Well, I think just the communication piece. You know, when we find information out, we want to share it with our student athletes. The most important thing from a coaching standpoint is keeping your team engaged. And I think the communication process is important. The other piece, obviously, is the patience and the flexibility. You know, things have been changing hourly, daily, weekly. And I've been really proud of my team, and especially our freshmen. Been very, very resilient through this entire pandemic, and hopefully, you know, it'll make us a better team.
Traditionally, student athletes really focus on the physical and specific sport performance training. Share with the Eagles how you have helped with their mental training.
Cherish the time that we have to get out of the dorm. You know, getting out of the staying in and not being able to go out to get a bite to eat, or go down to here and sit down and have a cup of coffee or chocolate, whatever you're going to do. So our mental fact is have this moment that we have together on the field is our mental training. This is getting us out and you know, thank goodness we're an outdoor sport.
You know, we did a lot of things throughout the quarantine. We were really adamant about staying connected with our team. So much so, you know, we had a weekly Zoom meeting where we would have different discussions. We might talk about documentary, we might talk about a podcast, we may talk about issues, social issues that are going on. We would get updates from all of our guys where they are. And I just think the communication piece is very important for your own mental health. And then we really challenged our guys. You know, we always talk about getting better. That's our only goal, is to get better. And when you're home throughout quarantine, you don't have access to the gym to get physically better. It's a great opportunity to get mentally and spiritually better.
We've covered several topics. We have a sports psychologist that comes and works, some with some of our young ladies. We have had diversity talks with Dr. Atkins. We have covered some in those areas, and I think where so many of our players come from a distance, some may not have their parents as close by, so I think our coaching staff does a pretty good job of meeting with our players, not just the 2 hours we're there on the court, but getting to know them and building a relationship there as well.
Again, just, I always thought it was helpful to just break things down and, say, hey, let's just focus on this one rep. Let's just, and a lot of the times, like, there's some people that you just need to, give them that extra attention and give them that opportunity to, if they need an extra day off or if they need like an extra, little extra something, I can help them out, or they can be helped out by the teammates.
Yeah, it is such a huge part of performance, and it's something that our volleyball team has been working on for years now, probably even before it was a little bit mainstream. We meditate every day before practice. It's because it's so much about being present and in the moment and not allowing for distractions. And when those distractions come in, how well do you get refocused? And so it's been a big part of what we do. And I also think it helps them so much in just their day-to-day life in being able to turn off what they're doing from school and being able to focus on their passion.
Well, again, I think the key is just communication, engaging with your student athletes. As the head coach, you got to know the temperature of your team, and the way your athletes perform daily, the way they perform in a weight room, the way they perform on the field, body language. You can identify some of those things. So it's important that you're having those conversations. I think the one thing that we've done as a team during this process is we spent more time together. Using social distancing guidelines, but we've been meeting in small groups and having good conversations and talking through things. And I think our coaches have done a really nice job within their position group, just making sure that they're not just talking about football. We're talking about academics. We're talking about life. The safety and the well-being of our student athletes is our priority.
How's your mental health?
Oh, I've had my head in the bucket a few times. Yep. I've had it against the wall. I've had a door pushed against it. But you fight through it. The hardest part was, okay, this is going to be 2 months. Oh, it's going to be 3 months. Now we're going on almost 6 months. And there's not real sight at the end yet. So we just got to regroup, refocus, and stick to our guns.
If you ask me, my mental health is great. If you ask my wife or my kids or my team or my coworkers, they may have a different answer.
Yes. No, I'm great. I thrived. Me, my fiance, just chilling out in the apartment and everything, and it's just, it's great to have somebody to be around. But I had tomatoes to grow over quarantine and peppers, and they were thriving. And I Netflix and Hulu help out a lot.
My mental health is really good right now. Being home, the quarantine was certainly a blessing. Of course, we missed being here with the team, being with the community, getting on the road and recruiting, a lot of the things we're used to. However, I was home for 6 months, eating 3 meals a day with my family, and I'll never get that time back. And so it was really special to be able to do that. And so to answer the question, it really helped my mental health. To just be there with my wife and kids and watching them grow up and just getting to spend a lot of time with them that I otherwise wouldn't get to do.
Oh, I'm a pretty positive person, and yeah, I think the glass is always half full. So pretty blessed and have a pretty good balance with family and all. So not too bad.
It's been a little bit of a roller coaster. Not going to lie to you. In the beginning of the pandemic, and you tried to find ways to stay active and take care of yourself and take care of your family, and then the more you got into it, your team comes back to campus, you start preparing for that, and there's a lot of ups and downs. We initially thought that we were maybe going to play some games, and then obviously we didn't, and now we're into a fall practice, and we're hopeful that we're going to have a spring season. So It's been tough, but you know, like everything else, you kind of weather the storm. And what I tell our guys, you know, the motto for recruiting this year is fly above the storm. You know, and that's the kind of guys we want to recruit and get here. And you know, we're all going to be better from this as long as you approach it the right way. And you got to be optimistic. You got to be positive, and that's what our expectations are for our football team.
Who would you say are the Eagles to look out for this upcoming season?
Nicole Palmer is a returner for us that's been all OVC the last 2 years. We're getting back Colleen Swift from injuries, Katie Quinn from injuries. We've had a heck of a time last year. We're getting these kids back. And I think that was part of the mental thing you're talking about. We finally get them back, and then we get postponed to get a little bit. So, but they're back. They're ready to go. We have Michelle Jarenkowski from a transfer that we have competing in goal. And a really solid freshman class that's come in and just mixed really well with our group. And I truly believe that this group is headed for good things.
You know, we've got some new faces this year that are going to be new to our fan base. We did have 3 guys who sat out for us last year. Of course, Davon Cooper was a big missing piece on our team last year, who redshirted with an injury, so he'll be back and healthy this year. We're really excited about Davon. We had Kevin Hunt Jr., who sat out with the transfer last year, and he's going to make a big impact on our team. He was most notable as being the guy who really just drove the energy bus at our home games on the bench. Skylar Potter transferred in from Wright State, the Kentucky guy, and he'll make a big impact for us as well. And I mentioned those 3 because although they're going to be new to the box scores, they're not necessarily new to the rosters. They've been here with us practicing in our program, a part of our culture, and so we know what to expect with them. 2 new freshmen this year, 6'10" freshman from Tampa, Janai Broom, is going to be really good for us, and he's been a nice surprise at how ready he's been. Big point guard Andrew Thelwell from Orlando has really done a nice job this year as well. Former top 100 junior college player Marcus Garrett, coming from Wabash Valley, has really increased our toughness and competitiveness in practice. And then the other new face would be Jalen Seabury, another Kentucky native who transferred from Florida Atlantic, and we were able to get a waiver this year to get him immediately eligible, so we're excited what he's going to bring to the court this year. And they go along with a cast of returning players that our fan base is going to remember: Talon Cooper, Tyjon Claude, James Baker, Julius Dixon, and LJ Bryan, and Jaden Stanley Williams are some of the guys who played meaningful roles for us last year and that have seen significant improvements throughout the offseason. And so we're excited to mesh new guys and returners together to have a very deep team this year with great size and great athleticism.
You know, great thing about our team this year is I think our depth, and we're having, this is my 30th year, I think, of being head coach, and I don't ever remember a team that has more balance. You know, we've got a lot of work to do and a lot of things to get better at, but just as far as what we have on the floor, it's very competitive, very balanced. We have a sophomore class that I think's going to be very special here. We have a couple seniors on this team in general, but we're working very, very hard and excited about the upcoming season.
Everybody. I'm really proud of all my people. I mean, we have time trials just to try and keep track of everything and see how they're doing, but everybody's putting in hard work, and freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors, all across the board. So, I mean, if you see a Morehead State cross-country track athlete, just know we're ready for it.
All of them. All of them. I mean, honestly, we've got a lot returning from last year's team, and it was the entire season. We were up until the very last game of the regular season that we were first. We returned all of our offense, high percentage of our defense. And we've got some young players coming in. So while there are those high-profile people like Liv Lohmeyer or Lauren Roque that are pretty obvious, I think that's the strength of this team, is that you can't take anyone for granted.
Well, I think thing that really sticks out to me is going into this fall, going into the 2020 season, we had 26 seniors. And we have a lot of guys returning with game experience. And if we do get to play in a spring season, I look forward to a lot of guys standing out on both sides of the football. I'll start with our kicking game and Andrew Foster. I think he's going to have a really special year. He's worked hard. The one difficult thing is to make improvements every year, especially when you start as a freshman. And Andrew has done that, and I've been really proud of him. And so I'm looking for him to have a huge impact on our team this year. And he's excited for the fact that he may get to play, 6-7 games in the spring and then turn around and play in the fall again. So he's looking forward to competing, and that's one name for sure. Defensively, obviously everybody knows about Von Taylor. He's going to have a good year. We're going to try and move him around a little more on defense and be a little more impactful for us, whether it be rushing the passer, line him up as an interior lineman, or maybe blitzing him off the edge. So we're going to try and use him a little differently, and we're looking forward to that. Offensively, we got a lot of really good players back. We got some really good, explosive type guys, offensive guys. A couple guys that stand out to me are Landon Hurst and Ian Holder. And then we got Isaiah Aguero coming back, who's our senior running back. We got a lot of experience at quarterback. We're still competing for that job, and we're going to try and find out who's going to lead us. And you got Mark Pappas that played in a lot of games, DeAndre Clayton, Quinn Commons is a transfer, junior college transfer we got coming in. So we got some really good talent there, and we've got a lot of guys with game experience. So expectations are to win, be competitive, and compete for a championship.
What does homecoming mean to you?
Homecoming means to me everybody getting back together from 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 20 years ago, to experience a good time of celebration for the university, to see people we haven't seen in years, and to have fun, have a great time.
As a basketball coach, it's always been a traditional football game, and we've typically had recruits, and I think homecoming's great, particularly if we can get some of our former players, and it's just a great day for the whole university, and it's great to be a small part of that through homecoming. But it's usually a beautiful fall day, and I think there's not a nicer place to be in than Morehead, Kentucky during that time.
An opportunity to just meet back with some of the old alumni, old teammates, and not just that, but like some of my old friends that I had classes with and stuff. I mean, it's just fun to see some people I haven't seen since like freshman, sophomore year, and really it's just, I mean, it's always cliche to say, but whenever I see these teammates, I'm just like, they're all old family members essentially, so.
Homecoming is a special time of year. We always like to really educate our players on just the importance that it has with our alumni, the important role that they play in being here, being present, performing in front of the alumni. We always open up our practices. We'll try to move around our practice times to accommodate the football game, obviously, the tailgate, and we invite everyone to come in. And our practices are open most of the time anyway, but we try to send out a newsletter, an invitation via text, email, social media, whatever that may be, just inviting any and all of our alumni to come back. And so we've been very fortunate over the past few years that we've had a lot of alumni from many years, from guys that played 30 years ago to guys that played 3 years ago, come back and spend a weekend here and get to know our players, get to know our staff, get to see all the different upgrades and changes that we've been fortunate enough to make here with our facilities, watching practice, and then we've always had a tailgate for the alumni that's actually been put on by some of our alumni here with the Profit family. They've done a great job of putting that together for us, and it's just a great time to really congregate, hear great stories about the experiences that our alumni had while they were here.
I mean, for me, homecoming is all about family. It's a reunion. It's that connection. It's what makes Morehead State, I think, so unique, is the family feel, the environment. And homecoming is about visiting with the people that matter the most to you.
I really enjoy homecoming. It's one of my favorite weeks of the season. Homecoming is celebrating the athletes that came before you. And I share that with my team every year. You know, it's an opportunity to go out. You're going to play in front of a large crowd of alumni. And I've always kind of treated it as celebrating those guys that have come before. And we got a chance to go out and put a great product on the field. And there's always a special feeling in homecoming week.
What's your favorite Eagle alumni story?
You know, there's so many of them. I've got a couple different ones. It's always a lot of fun when the group that played for Wayne Martin comes back. That group comes back very consistently to homecoming and really throughout the year for games and seeing us at different places. But they have a lot of really intriguing stories about Coach Martin, because if anyone knows Coach Martin, he's super professional, very laid back in his approach right now. But to shift gears 30 years ago when he was in my seat, close to my age, he had a lot of fire, a lot of excitement, and a lot of success. And so it's a lot of fun to hear those stories of how they got to that success from the guys who are now moved on and become extremely successful in other walks of life outside of basketball. And then the crew that played for Donnie, they're still young. They look like they could play right now. They probably still believe they could play right now. And so when those guys come back, the Mays Stallworths and Leon Buchanans and Brandon Shingles and Kenneth himself and all those guys, they just bring such an energy and such a pride with them to share the stories of the grind that they went through and the sacrifices they made and the work they put in to hang banners in Johnson Arena. And so those are some of the most impactful memories that, for me and for our team, that are shared throughout homecoming.
Probably Rocky and Barbara, that are two of our biggest fans. They shared with me how their spark came about, and it's through the university. So I would say Rocky and Barbara's message there. So I can't tell all the details on it, but enough to just let you know that, yeah, they shared that with me, how they met and how they fell in love. So yeah.
So over the summer during quarantine, we had these alumni Zoom meetings, probably once a week for a solid two and a half months. And I was picking up a few stories from there, but one, it was Adam Rubman, actually. He was out running through campus and he had a ketchup packet, and they jumped up, smacked a stop sign, and then grabbed his face and stuff like that, and pretended had blood everywhere. And this was right in front of the president's house, and this is probably I think it was President England around that time. So that happened. He's laying on the ground, made this big dramatic scene, and the president's wife saw it, and then he just gets up and starts running off like it was no problem. But she thought it was real, apparently, and then later on he gets a phone call, or she calls the coach, and then the coach calls Adam saying, what'd you do? And he's like, it was just a joke. So he had to call and apologize. So that's the story I heard. So it's just funny goofing off on those easy days, I guess.
All of them that I get wedding pictures from. It was like my daughters are moving on. Oh my gosh! It's like they're growing up. Now they're getting married, and those sort of times are really special.
Wow, alumni memory. And I guess this one might be a little bit different because I've been here so long. Last year I enjoyed some milestone in coaching wins, and again, it has nothing to do with how good you are, it's just how long you've been around. And so I was fortunate enough to actually surpass Coach Hamilton, and I had an alum that reached out to me, and actually I brought this here, and gave me this, which is Coach Hamilton's rookie card from when he played with the Yankees. And Coach Hamilton, while I never got an opportunity to meet him, have heard so many great stories, and so that one alumni moment to me, and I keep it on my desk and I keep it with me, and it's probably one of the most special things that I've had as an experience here.
I think one of my favorite alumni memories was, well, there was two things, but both had to do with Phil Simms. It was the first opportunity to meet Phil. And early 2000s, we went to Lexington for a book signing and got to meet him and spent some time with him afterwards. And you know, he was just so excited about Morehead State, and it was so meaningful to him. And I always remembered that. And of course, when I became the head coach, he's the first person that I reached out to. You know, I wanted to get him back involved in the program, and that's that marquee name, you know, and obviously he's very busy, you know, working with the NFL right now, and can't be here a lot during the season, but you know, he's someone that I think was really a special memory for me, getting to meet him and getting him back involved in the program. And so those are the things that I cherish.
If you were a fan, what would you bring to the tailgate?
Ooh, chili. Big old pot of chili. Yeah. Chili and hot sauce, and then some cool refreshments.
I would say bring a towel, just because you never know what the weather's going to be like. A towel's so versatile. It could be a pillow, a blanket. It could just be if the seats are wet. It's always great. Always bring a towel.
Well, I think any tailgate is only as good as the side dishes that you bring. I think obviously everybody's going to have their main dishes, your hamburgers, hot dogs, your chicken, whatever that may be, but I think those things aren't nearly as impactful without the role players on a team. And you got to have some mac and cheese, you got to have some potato salad, maybe some baked beans in there, and then of course desserts. Desserts are very popular in my house, and so I'm the official taste tester for the men's basketball team to make sure that we do have adequate desserts for homecoming.
Now, what I'm bringing to the tailgate, I'm bringing Cuban sandwiches. We're going with slow roasted pork, and maybe in my solo cup, I've got some mojitos.
You know, and if you look at me, there's not many foods that I don't eat. So I guess it would be more what I couldn't take. But I certainly ribs are obviously awesome. Any kind of chili there, and I think it's fun to have games, cornhole, any kind of sport or games involved as well.
I'd bring the grill. I'm the cook, and I barbecue year-round. So tailgate, I'm cooking burgers, cooking the dogs, cooking the brats, and yeah, that's what I'd bring to the table as far as tailgating.
What's your favorite pregame meal?
Ooh, well, you can tell I like food, so as a player or as a coach? As a coach, I don't have a pregame meal because my stomach's to it, but I used to be real light, a little chicken here and there, but I have to eat 4 hours prior. If not, I'd have a problem.
You know, for me, when we're playing here in front of our fans in Johnson Arena, my favorite meal is salmon salad from Malini's. It's pretty typical for me that once we get out of our shoot around, I'm going to pick up the phone and we'll call in the order. They typically know it's me on game days. I'll stop in, pick that up, take it home, and have my salmon salad. You know, it's fulfilling. You got good protein in there. It's not too much to weigh you down for a game.
For our team, for whatever reason, we love Panera as a team, and it's good food overall. I don't know that it's the tastiest in the menu, but our team enjoys going there, and it's kind of funny because some of the girls come in and they've not been to Panera, but then they graduate and come back and tell me they really like Panera. So yeah, that's been kind of our traditional place. As
a coach?
Yes.
Oh man, eat anything I want, but I mean, when I was an athlete, you know, it's just before a race, I'd be eating pasta or something like that.
Okay, so Jaime Gordon, the old athlete, would have eaten pasta, chicken, veggie. Pretty straightforward. Jaime Gordon, the coach, I eat nothing at pregame. My appetite is gone. My mind and stomach are all ready for the game, and so there is nothing in my pregame meal.
As a coach, a little different. You know, we try to get a lot of carbs in the guys, and that's the last thing I want to eat. You know, you go out there and eat a bunch of carbs, you're bloated all day, and so I try to eat something a little lean, maybe some chicken breast, maybe some white rice, and then some veggies, and drink a lot of water, because you know, I know the players are out there working hard, coaches are working hard, and it's good to be hydrated on game day.
Okay, if you were Beaker, what would your superpower be?
If I was Beaker, I would want to fly. I would want to soar in. I would want to make an announcement that I'm here in the middle of the football field, middle of the soccer field, maybe even hover around inside of the AC. Yeah, I want to fly.
If I were Beaker, well, flying wouldn't need to be a superpower because he's an Eagle. He does that. But I think, you know, Beaker, the superpower that would be most impactful for him would be the ability to teleport. I think he's such a popular mascot, if not the most popular mascot, in my opinion, that if he could teleport from one place to the other and essentially be in two places almost at once, he could have a bigger impact than what he does right now.
Well, you know, eagles soar, fly, so I guess that's probably your number one answer. I guess the power of being able to fly.
Easy. My superpower would be I could make every single opponent miss baskets, miss serves, miss field goals, miss shots, miss putts, you name it. That would be my superpower.
I thought about that, and you know, being able to slow time, or better yet, to run faster, to speed up time. Right? Not speed up time, but to speed myself up, so super speed.
Oh, definitely fly. You know, I don't know who wouldn't. If you were a bird, why wouldn't you want to fly, right? Like, that would definitely be the power that I would want. And it's funny, we were just looking at some videos. We did a drone shot of some of our facilities and campus, and it kind of looked like someone was flying from above, you know. But definitely, if I was Beaker, the superpower would be I'd want to fly. What
would your walkout song be?
Something that just makes you want to just I can't say that because we're on film.
Ooh, I just think of ultimate swag and just a little old school in there. Okay, so I envision Beaker, you know, coming in to the arena, maybe getting onto the field with a little Phil Collins. You know, feel it in the air tonight when that drum solo kicks in. I just think that gets everybody pumped up. And when you throw in Beaker, it's going to really be impactful.
To the wind, you know what I mean? Just getting on it.
You know, that's tough. I do have a lot of music I like. For today, I'd say Good Feeling, Flo Rida would probably, I would take that. And,
all right, I'm gonna go, so for me personally, it would be old school hip hop, Run DMC, Rock Box. That's what I used to get ready when I played, so I wouldn't change it.
Oh man, there's a lot of good ones. Of course, you know, the old Thunderstruck. I grew up in the 90s, so that sticks out. Enter Sandman. I think Virginia Tech, that's their big song, right? I mean, that's a great song. I'd say one of those two, probably.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Really?
I don't know, I mean, just...
This gets you pumped up? Do you like the square dance?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or line dance?
Yeah, definitely, all the time. Everybody on the team knows I love that.
You know, like some AC/DC or some Led Zeppelin or something just to come in full bore.
And what would your dance move be if you were Beaker?
I'm going to go with the chicken dance. The chicken dance is really popular in my house. My kids, they look forward to it on those media timeouts during the games here in Johnson Arena, and so I just think it's a widespread dance that an Eagle can really transition to pretty easily, and so the chicken dance, I'd say, would be his signature move.
I don't know. I tried to do the floss, but I just can't get it in between my teeth.
I don't know that I've got many dance moves, but maybe something simple like a dab or
like a dab?
Dab, yeah, something like that.
I don't know about signature dance move, but for certain it would probably be something along the lines of like the Heisman.
The Heisman.
Yeah, a little of that. You know, after every big play, a little bit of that.
Oh man, I saw the best commercial last night. It was Billy White Shoes Johnson. And man, I can remember doing that, scoring a touchdown in the backyard and doing the old leg quiver, and that's definitely my move.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't say anything with that. I just kind of kick, you know, like.
Oh, I forgot the. Which one is it first? I can't remember.
This one?
Yeah, here,
Wings.
here. And then the clap, 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 clap. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
I can't. Is that they ain't gonna work?
Perfect. All right.
No, I'll do
you're
it.
gonna do
Yeah,
it.
that one. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. All right, ready? Here goes. Go. How's that?
You show us how to do
Well, you know, I can't do much of that, but yeah, that's about it.
All right, Eagles, thank you so much for watching our Homecoming Hot Seat virtual homecoming style with the Eagles. We hope that you've enjoyed. Please make sure to stay tuned. Follow Morehead State Eagles at MSU Eagles or visit our website at msueagles.com. Happy homecoming!